Today, I'm finishing my macrame heart with some weaving. Some assembly required. As promised, I have returned to finish my macrame heart wall hanging with some sumac weaving. Now, I have just learned how to do this, so I'm probably not exactly a pro, but I really like how puffy and fluffy it is. So, with that being said, I'll do my best, and let's figure out how to do it. I think it'll be a really cool addition to the kind of boring macrame heart. I don't know, I like a little color and a little extra pizzazz. So let's see how it goes. Before I started on my actual piece, I thought I would try out some different ideas on a little sampler. You know I love my samplers. I definitely prefer the roving to the light pink yarn. Maybe a different kind of yarn I would like better, but in this case, from what I had, I like the roving the best. Ooh, it's so poofy! I really like how the sumac weaving looks. I'm gonna do this all the time. Maybe. Let's see if I'm any good at it. I wanted to see what it would look like with a skinnier strip of roving, maybe make it not quite so enormously puffy. So I will just peel a little bit off my strip here. And since we're trying things, let's see how blue looks. Okay, so we will start on the left and work toward the right. Keep in mind, I definitely just figured this out. I don't know all the answers. Let's see if I've got it. So first, push the tail end through to the front between the second and third string. And then to hide it, because you don't want it sticking out, I'm going to push it back through between the first cord and second cord. We'll just deal with that later. Now pick up the second set of 2 cords. We'll bring all the roving over and push it through this gap from right to left. I've noticed that giving this last bit of roving a little twist as you pull the rest through makes it look a little bit more polished and less fluffy and wild. Pull this stitch nice and snug, but not too tight, and then do it again with the next 2 threads over. Pull it around and back through, and then just keep going to the end of the row. When you get to the last 2 cords in the row, wrap your roving around them again. This is basically going to be the beginning of your next row. Now we are going left, so this time we'll put our roving through from left to right. Make sure it's nice and snug, and then keep going. When you reach the end, give it another extra wrap, just like you did at the other side. Now let me see if I can fit another 2 rows. I think I can do it. When you finish, you may need to squish some parts and fluff some other parts so that all the cord gets properly covered. I do think it's weird the way the first stitches on each row seem so small. I could be doing that part wrong. Feel free to experiment. Maybe wrap it one more time. I have no idea. It does look fine when you fluff it though, which I guess it's a good reason to use the roving because you have a lot more to fluff. Now I have to choose which color I want for my heart. Now they both have their charms, but I think the pink matches best. I think that macrame cord is a little bit more warm colored, so it matches with the warm pink better. Let's get to it. First things first, I will peel apart some more roving so it's ready to go. Let's see how far we can get with these pieces. And here's my setup. I taped everything down so it's not moving all over the place, and so the cords stay a little bit more taut. I'm not sure that matters, but we'll see. So for my actual piece, I'm just going to start the same way I did before and head over to the right. Oh, this roving is not going to last too long at all. I guess we'll learn how to switch to the next piece pretty soon. First, we'll tuck this little guy into the back, and we'll deal with that later when we weave everything in. Then we'll start the next strand of roving by wrapping the end around these last two strands from left to right and tucking that end back through. When you wrap your next stitch, it will cover up where you added your roving. So just wrap around the next two cords and back to the left. Ta-da! You can't even tell you added a new piece. So keep going until the end of the row, wrapping twice on the last two cords, and then head back to the left. Join new roving wherever you need to. Maybe your pieces are longer than mine. That would be smart. If you end up needing to switch roving right at the right end of the row, I recommend that you go back a stitch and join there instead. I had an easier time hiding the end, not at the very edge. Yay! Now we can peel off the tape. Now, maybe this is exciting enough for you, but just in case you need some more pizzazz, let's go a little nuts with some more pink, just to see. It can all come off again if it's a little too much, but at least this way you can see what's possible and what you maybe shouldn't do. So I will attach my last little scraps of roving with lark's head knots. Then I think the braids need some nice pink wrap knots. Ta-da! That's kind of nice actually. Let's use this other pink yarn to hang it, just to see what that looks like. Too much? Maybe. Now, I guess I should make sure all the ends are woven in on the back. You can just pull the ends through a nearby stitch with a crochet hook. If you don't have a crochet hook, you could use a needle and thread to just tie them down somewhere away from the edge. You can't see through the weaving, so as long as they don't stick out the sides, they should be fine. Now, I can see that this might be a little bit over the top, but when I come home and it's gray and sad and freezing outside, I will definitely smile. And that's good enough for me. I'll probably make the neighbors think I'm insane, but I think I've done that already. Now, isn't that cheerful? And maybe just a little ridiculous? I'm okay with that. I mean, ridiculous is kind of what we do around here. Listen, the neighbors are going to be jealous when there's 16 feet of snow and everything looks sad. My door will not look sad. This was really fun. It turns out I quite like sumac weaving, especially with bright pink roving. I mean, I could do anything with bright pink roving and it would probably make me pretty happy. I definitely want to do more of this. I have a lot more ideas. Wouldn't this make the most spectacular pillow? I don't know how to do that. Probably not with macrame, just regular weaving. I don't know how to do it, but I'll figure it out because I need it in my life. And so do you. I know it. I have a feeling. So definitely try this. I have added weaving to my macrame before and I didn't love it. Probably it's better with thicker yarn rather than the thin yarn that I started out with, but it's best with roving. But if you don't have roving, they have really fat yarn at the craft store, Michael's anyway, and I think that you could probably use that. I would also like to try, and I don't know how this will look, maybe not great, knitting loom, like the spool knitting, long tubes. I don't know, would it look cool? It might. That way you can use thinner yarn that maybe wouldn't be so exciting, but it could turn out like this. I don't know, stay tuned. I'm sure I'm going to do that at some point. So yeah, I've got a lot more projects in my little brain. They've got to come out. I need to go write them all down before I forget. Just so that I can make sure I show you because I know you need to see it. They are gonna be great or weird, maybe both at the same time. If you enjoyed this video, thank you. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it too. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, but you like this kind of video, you can subscribe right underneath the video. Click that all notifications bell so you don't miss anything. New videos come out on Tuesdays and Saturdays, so stay tuned. Until the next video, I'm going to get all of the crazy thoughts in my head out. Be awesome, and I will see you then. Bye!